Hi everyone, today I'll be showing you how to make this delicious seafood dish, geshet. Geshet is an Iraqi dish that not too many people are familiar with it, not even the Iraqi people, and that's because there's only one city in Iraq that makes it, the city of Basra. And they're really good at making it, but I'm here to share the recipe with you, so let's get started. I'm going to boil the fish, and for that you will need a cooking pot. I added some oil here, and I have the onion, sliced onion, about half of an onion. And to that I'm adding some garlic. This is about 4 cloves of garlic. And to that I will be adding 1 teaspoon of curry powder. I'm adding half a teaspoon of dried lime powder, which is the Nummi Basra. It's called Nummi Basra because Basra was the first port it arrived at, hence why they call it Nummi Basra. And I'm adding half a teaspoon of cumin powder and some coriander, half a teaspoon of coriander powder. At this point, I'm going to add the water and I'm going to turn up the heat. Wash your fish and then add it to the boiling water. I'm using tilapia for the fish. And after the water boiled, I added some salt and a few bay leaves, and I added the fish, and this should take no more than 10 minutes to boil. Just make sure your water is boiling before you add the fish. Here is the fish after 10 minutes. It is completely boiled and you don't want to overcook it. You could use any type of fish that you prefer. I use tilapia because we like tilapia and the bones are a little larger and it's easier to get rid of the bones. What I'm doing here, I'm just going to remove the skin and get rid of the bones and put it on the side. We're gonna move to the next step. I have here cilantro and dill, and I have onion and I have some carrots, and I will add the amount to the description box. On low heat I added some oil, and I'm adding my onion that I chopped into small pieces. And I'm going to add the carrots at the same time. I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit and move everything around until the carrots and the onion are cooked. I'm going to add the cilantro and the dill. Make sure you chop them. Mix everything together. And I'm ready to add the spices. I have here half of a teaspoon of dried lime powder, and then some cumin, half of a teaspoon, and cinnamon, half of a teaspoon, and mix everything together. And I have here some raisins, half of a cup of raisins. If you don't like it, you don't have to add it. Mix everything together, and now you could add the fish. Since everything is cooked, this should not take long. I'm just going to add a little more spices and we should be done, and I'll put that on the side. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and then half of a teaspoon of 7 spice, and then salt to your liking. Mix everything. I'm also adding some cardamom powder, about half of a teaspoon, and we're all done here. Going to mix and put this on the side. Now we're gonna move to the last step, which is making the rice. In a cooking pot on low heat, add some oil And I have 3 cups of rice that I've washed and drained the water. And I'm just going to put it on top of the oil on low heat. At this point, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of salt, and then half a teaspoon of cardamom powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Mix everything together. Now I'm going to add 3.5 cups of warm water, and I will turn up the heat for the next 5 minutes. Make sure you leave the heat on high for the next 5 minutes and then cover it with the lid, but do not cover it all the way. I'll show you here, kind of like that, for the next 5 minutes. This is after 5 minutes. Once you see these dots or holes, with your spoon you can mix the rice. Be gentle, you don't want to mash the rice. Mix the rice around, and then at this point I'm going to lower the heat on low, cover it all the way for the next 10 minutes. This is after 10 minutes. I'm going to add half of a cup of warm water. And at this point, I'm gonna have to leave it on simmer for the next 5 to 10 minutes. And this is after 10 minutes of simmer. And my rice is completely cooked and ready to go. I'll show you how you could assemble your dish. I'm just basically gonna take the rice and put it here on my plate. And then I'm going to take the fish and all the vegetables and put it on top of the rice. And it should look like that, and it's ready to go. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you get to try this delicious recipe. And if you do, let me know, leave some comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching.